Alright, peace, beautiful soul, and yeah, welcome, Unfortunately, that little voice note that I made for you, it didn't go through, which only means I'm meant to do this right here for you. So, just, off the bat from what I recall from doing your reading, I remember that hold on, give me a sec. You had a plethora of earth, you know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna pull up your chart right now. And so what that let me know is that you are a very grounded, very practical person. But it's very interesting because you have earth and water placements. Because you had a stellium in the 8th house, right? The 8th house is the house of Scorpio, which is actually not a... And I hope that the background noise isn't too much. I'm going to find out later about that. But, okay, here you are. Mrs. Arcadia. So you're a Capricorn. Sun, Capricorn, Moon, and then I think you're a Capricorn. You have a bunch of Capricorn energy in your chart. So what that just indicates is that you're very Saturnian based, you know what I'm saying? So it's important that you learn and understand what Saturn is all about. And I think, yes, I was meant to do this reading now versus later because I recently just learned something about Saturn. So a lot of people associate Saturn with Satan and they consider Saturn to be like a negative. But in reality, Saturn is actually the boundary, or the one who stands at the gate, that allows us to enter into the spiritual plane. Everything physical is governed by Saturn, you know what I'm saying? But then, hold on, give me a sec, I want to pull it up. What up, Sway? Peace. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I want to pull up your chart so then I have it in front of me. Okay, there you are. Mrs. Arcadia. So yeah, I talked a lot about your 8th house placements. Okay, I was wrong. You have your sun in Capricorn, your moon in Virgo, and your rising sign is in Capricorn too. So regardless, you're still a very Saturnian individual. You know what I'm saying? Very Saturnianly influenced. So you have Saturn in Virgo in the 8th house. Saturn is a very magical planet. Like, this is an attribute of Saturn that many people don't talk about, you know what I'm saying? But what this really means, because like the 8th house is also a very magical house, you know what I'm saying? So when Saturn goes into the 8th house, this is a person who, because Saturn deals with craftsmanship, you know what I'm saying? It deals with labor and it deals with working. So this is a person who should have like a craftsmanship that revolves around like, magic, whether it would be witchcraft, voodoo, spirituality, whatever. This is because the 8th house is, okay, first and foremost, the 8th house connected to Scorpio, so it deals with things that are hidden, things that are unknown, things that are taboo, you know what I'm saying? You also have your moon in the 8th house, so you've had a lot of 8th house experiences. One very prominent energy that the 8th house deals with is death, you know what I'm saying? So this is just an indication that we've had a bunch of experiences with death, you know what I'm saying, and people dying. But I also say this though, the thing about Capricorn is because Capricorn is so close to the Pisces constellation, typically Capricorns tend to be spiritual individuals, knowingly or unknowingly. The thing though is Capricorns have to go through the material world in order for them to exalt themselves spiritually. Now this takes me to what I was going to elaborate upon. See, in the Bible, even though I'm not religious, I like to reference the Bible a lot. In the Bible, it talks about how God, puts those he loves the most through trial and tribulation. You know what I'm saying? Like, the thing about God is we need to understand that that's a title. You know what I'm saying? It was man-made. Like, a group of men came together and constructed that concept. So it's a title. But it's still wonderful to think of it as, like, the Holy Mother, you know what I'm saying? The Holy Father and the Holy Son. So Saturn is like the Holy Father, you know what I'm saying? The Father, because it renders us fatherly love, unconditional, hard love, you know what I'm saying? It crystallizes us. It's like through the pressures that we go through and in our ability to integrate with Saturn, because Saturn is here to teach us discipline, self-control, and it's here to crystallize us, crystallize our character, you know what I'm saying? Because Saturn rules the 10th house, which is the house of Capricorn, which is the house that deals with status, which deals with thrones, which deals with kingship, queenship, all that good stuff. So it's like through the energy of Saturn, through the energy of temperance, through the energy of self-control, self-discipline, we can exalt ourselves spiritually. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people desire freedom, you know what I'm saying? Because the soul's like innate nature is to be free in all forms of expression, you know what I'm saying? But it's like a lot of us seek freedom through Jupiter, and once upon a time Jupiter's energy was prominent. And so Jupiter's the planet of religion, planet of spirituality, faith, hospitality, mercy, caring, generosity, you know what I'm saying? Pluto is like, I mean, Jupiter is like the sign of flow, it's the sign of ease, things coming to you easily and you're just being blessed, you know what I'm saying, from all directions, you know what I'm saying? So Jupiter is just ease and flow. Back in the days, like, you know, a couple ages back, you know what I'm saying, Jupiter was the most exalted, most prominent planet. But as we move forward into this new age, you know what I'm saying, Jupiter is slowly but surely reclining, you know what I'm saying? Its energies are decreasing. Yeah, its energies are decreasing. But Saturn's energy are strengthening, and Saturn is the most prominent planet. This is why in the world today there's so much trials and tribulations and hardships and struggles, because it's like the fastest path to gaining an awareness of who and what you are, like gaining an awareness and understanding of your strength, is through being put through tests, right? They say being forged through the fire, you know what I'm saying? So it's important that you understand that the reason why you go through such trials and tribulations which you go through, it's due to the fact that you are a chosen one, you know what I'm saying? And you can actually take the pressure. Like, that's what we have to understand. Like, those of us who go through the most things, we have to always keep into consideration that we go through these things because we have the capacity, you know what I'm saying? We have the capacity to we have the capacity to withhold, you know what I'm saying, and persevere. And so in like the ancient scripts, you know, Saturn deals with chronos, right? Or time, rather, I should say. And Saturn also deals with like trials and tribulations and hardships and struggles. But in general, Saturn deals with the concept of time, you know what I'm saying? And then beyond Saturn is Uranus. Uranus is the planet of freedom, the planet of self-expression. Like the sun right here, I'm going to try to show you it on my birth chart, on my tablet. Okay, so check this out. So the symbol of the sun. Okay, so the symbol of the sun is, my apologies, okay, hold on. Let me zoom in and then show it to you. Okay, so as you can see, that right there, you see it, S-U-N, the symbol of the sun. That's like a circle, right, with a dot in the middle. So the symbology there is, the circle signifies the boundaries of Saturn. You know what I'm saying? Because everything within Saturn's domain, because Saturn is considered the 7th planet, right? And Saturday is the 7th day. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people say Sunday is the day of rest, but truly Saturn is the day of rest. You know what I'm saying? Of recuperation. Yeah, all that good stuff. It's like through Saturn, life was able to materialize and manifest into the physical world. And Saturn is such a beautiful player, you know what I'm saying, in the realm of spirituality. But a lot of people don't talk about Saturn. A lot of people disregard Saturn. But it's like without Saturn, we would not be physically existent. You know what I'm saying? Saturn is material. Saturn is gravity. Saturn is like what holds us down. You know what I'm saying? Saturn is responsibility. You know what I'm saying? So these are all things that are divine. These are all things that are beautiful. Specifically like the energy of responsibility. Because the thing is, as the sun will signify, the sun is the planet of purpose, you know what I'm saying? The desire to want to be something, you know what I'm saying? To want to be valuable and significant, you know what I'm saying? But then Saturn is like the mechanism through which you can do that, you know what I'm saying? It puts you through tests and trials and tribulations in order to make it tangible, to make it realistic, you know what I'm saying? We all have goals and ambitions, but none of us are willing to put the hard work in it, you know, put our heads down and just do it, you know what I'm saying? But that's what Saturn can bestow upon you, you know what I'm saying? That's what Saturn can give to you. Saturn can give you that energy of crystallization, that energy of not just having it in your mind, but holding it in your hands, you know what I'm saying? Alright, so for sure, like that's one thing that I've seen very prominent for you, because you have your ascendant, right, in the first house, of Capricorn. So with your ascendant being in Capricorn, let me just talk a little bit about the energy of Capricorn. Capricorn is signified by the goat. You know what I'm saying? Typically this goat is depicted with a tail, you know, and this is because the constellation Pisces is close, as I talked about earlier. The constellation of Pisces is very close to Capricorn. So that's why it's depicted with a tail. You know, it's a goat that has a tail to signify Capricorn's spiritual energies. But like I mentioned earlier, before Capricorn can be spiritual, it kind of has to learn to build itself physically, because in the body, right, well, Capricorn in the body rules the knees. You know what I'm saying? The ability to knee down to somebody, but also have others kneel down to you. Because Capricorn is like the CEO energy. It's the boss, you know what I'm saying? It's practical, tangible, and it has its eyes on like the prize, you know what I'm saying? It's all about attaining status and coming to a certain level, you know what I'm saying? And then you also have your sun in the first house, which just indicates that you are a type of person who knows how to bring great attention to yourself, you know what I'm saying? Make sure that you're good. Okay, so let me talk about this real quick. The interesting thing about the sun in the first house, they have very similar energies. The first house, the houses, they just deal with the different areas of your life, you know what I'm saying, which we have 12 of. And this is like very superficial stuff, because I'm at a level of astrology where I am actually placing planets in my birth chart, you know what I'm saying? So, and that's the level that I would want you to get at too, because when you start consciously through alchemy placing planets in your, you know, you start placing planets in your birth chart, then what happens is you kind of become the ruler of your destiny, you know what I'm saying? You start ruling your destiny, you start ruling your stars, and like that's where I usually want to get my clients. And so I hope that I've done a great job to help you just understand how important this is, and why it's one of those things that if you invest into, then everything else that you're busy investing money into right now will resolve themselves. Because it's like, through the understanding of astrology, you learn different archetypes, you learn about love, you learn about finances, you learn about family, and then you go out into the world and you start to build better finances, you know, through the guidance of the stars. You start to build better relationships, better familial energies, you know what I'm saying? So I'll definitely recommend it. You were able to send me $10, so what I would recommend is, we can do it like, I would recommend like $30, you know what I'm saying, or $15 at the minimum, you know what I'm saying? And I'll continue to decipher and decode your chart. So the next investment, what I'll do is I'll sit down and I'll get serious and I'll write some notes, you know what I'm saying? And then yeah, we'll talk about it. But you have a lot of earth in your chart, which just indicates you're very grounded and a very practical person, you know what I'm saying? You're also very adaptable and changeable, because you have 7 placements in mute, so your modality is mutable, meaning you are adaptable and changeable. And I think you would also resonate a lot with the story of Hercules and the 12 labors of Hercules, as the constellation Hercules is within the Virgo constellation, you know what I'm saying? So Hercules descended from his divine energy, you know what I'm saying, to redeem himself through 12 labors, you know what I'm saying? Virgo is the sign of labor. So typically, when people aren't aware of astrology, the way that the Virgo energy plays out is just work, attain resources, material, but just keep working, you know what I'm saying? But once you gain an awareness and understanding of astrology, then it's kind of like you learn that Virgo is a sign that deals with work, but working for the soul, you know what I'm saying? You no longer desire to work for the flesh, you start to desire to work for the soul, you know what I'm saying? This is like the polarity of Virgo, which is Pisces. But I'll leave it there, you know what I'm saying? I'll leave it there. Alright, peace, namaste.